Hi guys. So I thought I would take a few minutes in my car because this will be the only few minutes that I have all day. I'm heading to the studio to teach a class, and I wanted to maybe tell you a little bit more about myself and my coaching journey and how I got to this fabulous place that I'm at. Not to go way back, but I thought it would be best to kind of get into a little bit of background. And I am an only child, and I think because of that I thrived in environments with people. I went to a really small all-girls high school, and we were all really close. I think there's a bond like no other that comes out of a small school that has about 20, anywhere from 15 to 25 or 30 people in a class. And then after that, or even in high school, I was a 3-sport athlete. So again, teamwork and that team mentality and that support and accountability, it really meant a lot to me. And I, associated myself with being an athlete. I continued to play softball at the collegiate level. And again, I loved it. And with college came a few LBs, and for me, college meant a few LBs. I gained a lot of weight in college, and it was hard for me. If you're part of my inner circle, you know that I have this weird, oh, the train's going by too, wonderful. I have always kind of had this body dysmorphia, and I'm not sure why, but it's just kind of always been part of my self-esteem issues. So when I went into college, I was probably about 110 pounds, which, at 5'5" is yay metabolism, because I was 18 and I was a 3-sport athlete and, played junior Olympic softball over the summer, and it was just, I was always moving. So understandable. But I got to college, all that kind of stopped, and I let a lot of weight creep on, and I felt terrible. I felt terrible about myself. I was mad at myself because I allowed that to happen. It was just, I had just continued with a bunch of bad decisions, because I just felt so bad about myself. I would, be the funny girl that would, drink 30 beers in one night to see what happens, because I was always, kind of used to being that outgoing person. And when you have completely shot out all of your self-esteem, you just do some crappy things just to, make yourself fit in, whatever fit in means. And so I eventually lost it. The summer of my senior year, I met my husband, and he was just so good to me. And I, kind of went back to my old ways of enjoying working out. And oddly enough, first of all, I was a gym rat at that time. So any cardio class you could get me into, I was there. But I also found turbo jams. So I was, punching and kicking and dancing with Shailene a long time ago, before I even knew anything about Beachbody. So I lost it, and I kind of was in a very healthy place for a long time, mentally and physically. And then, excuse me, I was pregnant with my first baby. Emerson just turned 6, but 6 years ago I gained about 60 pounds with her, and I had an active pregnancy. I think my body just did what it needed to do. I probably didn't need to eat, the entire state of Massachusetts out of Kit Kats, but you can justify I'm creating life, so she needs all of these. And after that, I think I kind of kicked into this weird place again that brought me back to how low I was feeling in college, because I had been doing so good, and now, even though I had just created life, I just felt terrible about myself again. And so I actually found a bar class through a friend, and I just remember going into this studio and being in awe of this instructor, a couple of instructors who had just had babies. And I was, I looked around this room, and I was the biggest person in there. So here I am, in my head, I'm athletic, I'm strong, I can do anything. And I was the weakest person in the room. I could barely do a sit-up. I was so embarrassed when I left that class. My first one, I remember it, and I cried. And I was like, I not only will get better at this, but I am going to teach this. I will be that instructor, and I will just make anybody who comes into my class feel good, because I don't know, I didn't really feel very good after that about myself, about anything. And so I continued with that, and I, through working out at home, through studio classes, I got back in shape. I got back to feeling good about myself. And at the time, I was so confident, and being an instructor and playing that motivational role to people was so important to me that I actually quit my big girl job in corporate America. I worked in digital advertising at the time, and I was the breadwinner. My husband is a firefighter and civil service, and all of these heroes do not make enough money. That's a side tangent. So I was the breadwinner, and my husband is so supportive, and we decided that he would let me quit my job. Not he would let me. We decided that he supported me quitting to kind of, take on some more classes and to be home with my daughter, which both of my parents worked all the time, and I saw the struggles that they had, but I was always the kid in camp after school and all this stuff, and my mom was never the one on field trips or anything in the classroom, and I remember that, and I just knew that that would never be me. So I was kind of overjoyed when that opportunity presented itself. So right about that time, as if like stars aligned, the coaching opportunity was presented to me, and I literally ran from my friend for months, and I was like, I just quit my job, which my husband calls my third life crisis, to do this whole fitness thing. I cannot even imagine bringing one more thing onto the table. So I begged and pleaded that my husband would buy me T25 for a combo Mother's Day birthday gift, and it was love at first sight. Love at first, I don't know, forward, back, hands outside if you've done T25. Maybe you'll remember that. I just knew I had never, in a week, I felt better than ever. Just by adding 25 minutes a day and drinking my superfood once a day. And I was like, I need to scream from the rooftops how good I'm feeling. And then when the opportunity was brought to me that I could actually do that, it was life-changing. And not, I don't know, I guess in all sorts of aspects, because I could help people, women just like myself, who, maybe aren't feeling like the best version of themselves, maybe are like thinking, sometimes it's hard to pinpoint it, like people aren't out there being like, gee, I wonder if there's a coaching opportunity around here. That's why this thing is so awesome, because it fills so many voids in people's lives. You're surrounded by community again of women, especially, who feel all these feels that we're having and feel these frustrations, and we kind of can tackle them together. So we're getting, healthier mentally, we're getting healthier physically by actually getting our sweat on as much as we can in our toy room while our babies are sleeping, whatever it may be. We're getting it in there, and we're keeping each other motivated. And then the last part, which is kind of came out of left field, was the financial aspect and what it's done for my family. At first, I just wanted free shakes because I wasn't sure I was going to be able to keep it up. And now it's paying for a significant part of my mortgage, for my bills, for all these things. And it's just created such a flexibility, like a release, where we were so nervous anytime something would come up and we'd have to tap into our savings. So the fact that I can help, oh my God, I'm gonna cry. I can help, these people are thinking I'm crazy. I can help other people get better mentally, physically, financially. It's humbling. And the fact that people trust me with their journey is just, it's mind-blowing, and I'm humbled every day to pay it forward. But now that I know how awesome this is, I am pretty sure that I was put on this earth to do this, and I will continue to do this as long as I can. And that's about it. So that's me in a nutshell. If you're still listening, thanks, and hopefully I'll talk to you soon. Bye.